used to have to start basically at 10 p.m. for him, 9 p.m. for me, because we both had that problem. So we just couldn't do it.
See, that's where, like, I feel like when I was a kid, I guess maybe I was just a loner, and I would just play alone in my room, and like my parents could have done a podcast or whatever at like 7 p.m. because I was doing my own thing, like playing Ninja Turtles or whatever the hell I was doing.
But in fairness, James' parents would just leave it for like a week at a time. Like they're like, go play video games. I'm playing video games. His dad's like, I'm in Vegas right now. I don't know what he's doing, but there's video games. I left $20 on the counter. He's good for a week.
No joke. I had a friend that happened to.
Really?
We were in 6th grade, and he invited me to a sleepover, and I go.
Is this your organic opening, Jay?
Yeah, and I went over at like Friday at 6 p.m. and his parents are like walking out the door, and they just don't come back. And I like
Ever?
No, it was well, I mean, it was like, I slept over, and then my parents picked me up the next day, and they had not come back.
Whoa.
And I guess the kid was bored, and he called me like an hour after I got home. He's like, "You want to sleep over again?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So my parents drove me back over, slept over till Sunday. The parents still weren't home. This was 6th grade.
Your parents were totally fine with taking you to the house without the parents.
They had no idea.
They know?
They had no idea because the parents were home when they dropped me off Friday. I guess they assumed they would be around Saturday. So obviously that became the place to hang out. The guy had a hot tub. He had like a little gazebo. Obviously in high school that became like just a complete shit show. I mean, everyone from high school was drinking and doing drugs at this guy's place.
I mean, in fairness to your parents, who the fuck would even stop to think for 1 second, oh, the parents left town during this? Like that would never even cross my mind with my kids. I would never think to ask.
Every weekend from when I met the kid in 6th grade through high school. Like, I don't know, maybe they were swingers or something. I don't know.
Turns out they were like in the CIA, undercover operations, yeah. Russian spies maybe.
The Americans, yeah.
The Americans, yeah. They're actually going like killing Americans, and you're like, oh, I get to hang out here. This is so much fun. While they're like assassinating like diplomats.
Well, here's a question: how'd the kid turn out? Do you know what he's like now?
Well, I know he was a complete fuck up in high school. Like, we stopped hanging out because he was like,
okay.
I was like, oh, this is like, oh, we're in the drug phase now. Okay, I'm gonna do something else. But
that's why I was trying to check for some cause and effect.
Yeah.
Jay was saying he's such a fuck up. His $1 billion hedge fund is down like to 800 million because of the market drop.
Yeah, I was straight edge in high school, so like, yeah, we kind of had a clash of.
Sure.
Yeah.
Jay, are you glad you were straight edge in high school? Has that gotten you far?
I mean, I think it made me go extra nuts when I went to college.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. I'm like, I didn't drink that much in high school. I should have just been doing like, at least weed when I was in like freshman year of high. Who gives a shit at this point? Did it really make a difference in how it turned out?
No, I mean, I think like I said, I drank 3 times before college, and I think because I had like such a reserved childhood, when I went to college, I went berserk, and it was just I was a complete fuck up.
So
I did the exact same thing.
I blacked out 2-3 times a week for years.
Mm-hmm.
So Rob, your kids are, you said 10 and 12. Yep. At what point, Jay, are you ever going to play the theme music, or just like this is not going to happen? Like, the organic opening will happen right before the goodbye song.
This has been our organic opening.
Hello, baby. Hello, nasty. Hello there. Hello. I say hello. Hello, friend. Well, hello, little girl. Hello, my treacherous friends. Hello, operator. The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends. It's showtime.
Rob's probably like, what the fuck is going on?
No, you know what's funny? Every time I'm on, I then remember that, and I'm always jealous of the open. I love it. It's great.
There you go, Mark.
The opening is one of the best things Jay's ever done in life. And I'm not saying, Jay, I'm not belittling anything you've done. Like, the opening's just really good.
The organic opening or the opening song?
You know how I feel about the organic. I like the organic opening as much as I like organic pears.
I like organic openings.
I'm sure you do. Rob, so your kids are 10 and 12. 12 meaning, is that like 7th grade? 6th grade. Okay.
Yep.
So probably middle school, I'm guessing, right?
Yep.
Okay, so a couple years from high school, let's say your oldest, high school, freshman year, you find out he's been drinking. Or is it he or she?
He.
You find out he's been drinking. How do you react freshman year of high school that he's been drinking?
Okay, can I ask for some parameters? Like, well, he wouldn't have driven home. He'd be too young. Is he just like sneaking it with his friends somewhere? And
he was at like a party from the older kids, but like he went to he's like, I'm going to go sleep at Jay's house. And they go to they end up going to party and he has a couple of drinks. He's not throwing up, but he had a couple of drinks. He drank.
I think so. I grew up in a household with like no drinking whatsoever. And I did not drink at all in high school.
Yeah.
So like I said, I did what Jason did. I would say I would probably have a conversation about safety and blah, 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 and all that kind of stuff. But no, I would not be furious.
Okay. What if you talk about it and then a week later he goes on a month-long meth bender?
Yeah, I'd probably take a firmer stance at that point, I think.
Just checking.
I think you misunderstood
what do you
talk. When
I would give him coronavirus. Is that not an appropriate thing to do with your kid?
I mean, they usually recover.
No, I think I would just talk to him about it. Like, if they only had a couple of drinks, I'd be like, I don't think it's a good idea to tell your kid that it's the worst thing ever, because they'll find out quickly it's not the worst thing ever and not believe anything else you're gonna say. So I think drinking or a little bit of weed, not good. My wife would not react very well to it, but we would just kind of talk about it and just try to make him understand also that you have limits. So if you do this, you have to limit how much you have.
We have a very casual drinking situation in our house to where the kids are very used to it, which I think in some ways is better than no one ever drinking in the house. And we will let them take a sip of a beer or any kind of thing like that. So we definitely try not to demonize it and make it like it's the worst thing they can do.
We do keg stands every once in a while just to show them that things are fine.
Well, yeah, you got to keep it interesting.
Yeah. Okay. I just want to make sure you guys respect alcohol. I'm going to shotgun a couple beers right now, and then Daddy's going to get angry.
We didn't even introduce Rob. We didn't even start the show really. This is Rob from the Uncanny X-Cast.
This is the shittiest organic opening ever, Jay.
We're done with the organic opening now. It's the actual opening. Welcome to episode 337 of The Brink of Sanity. We got Rob from the Uncanny X-Cast joining us today.
Hello. Oh, thank you for having me.
All right.
Thank you for joining us. He's one of our favorite guests. Rob, how are you doing in the end of times that we're living in?
Well, all right. This is going to be a hard conversation to have with you guys because, one, you guys are currently way closer to the shit than we are. But two, we have the single worst fucking governor on the goddamn planet. And I am somewhat nervous that when this is all said and done, Alabama, as always, will be at the shit end of the list of how things went.
So I think our governor in New York is pretty decent. I like him. I like how he's taking charge here. I think our president might be retarded. Is your governor?
No, you can lose might be. I don't think there's really a lot of debate left on this.
It's the only problem with saying that is I do think if we generally put someone who is mentally deficient or retarded, whatever. What's the politically correct thing now?
Mentally hilarious.
Mentally hilarious. If we put someone mentally hilarious in charge right now, they still would probably do a better job. So I don't want to insult them by comparing Trump to them. But is your governor worse than Trump?
I mean, we have our infections are going up pretty much worse than anywhere except for where you are right now. And we're way more rural. Like you guys, New York was going to be a shit show no matter what because of how close everybody is proximity wise. We shouldn't be having these problems. And our governor still will not do a shelter in place thing. She's basically Birmingham, where I live. The mayor, it's a weird setup. I can't even really explain it, but he was able to do it for Birmingham, but statewide, there's a ton of cities in Alabama that are basically not allowed to do it.
They're not allowed to do it?
I mean, people can obviously make the choice to do it, but and there's a lot of and I'm not the right person to explain this, but there's ramifications of there's healthcare workers where they are not allowed, if they don't call for a shelter in place, the healthcare systems can lower their hours, which then cuts some of their insurance out, but also leaving them in very dangerous situations while doing that. There's a lot of shitty. We are historically, and this is probably no surprise to you, just one of the worst run states in the world, and this is going to be the one that really fucking shows it, I think.
So I'm looking at the a a most recent. I look. As I said, I was telling Jay last night. I spend way too much time looking at the numbers, and like every 2 hours, like it's like I'm looking at like I'm like, oh, I wonder what the box score is. Like I don't know why I look at this all the time, but Alabama has 1,261 cases.
Right. Which is low. I mean, number-wise, it's low.
Jay's block has more cases than this.
Agreed. I'm telling you, bring me back on at the end. We won't reach number-wise, but I think density of population-wise, we're just in a place where this shouldn't be happening. Like, there's just not. If everybody had sheltered early, like you guys, I mean, you guys were fairly early, right?
I mean, New York. I don't know how. I don't know where.
California did better, I think, but
yeah. I mean, I don't remember exactly where the other states were. Just New York is just like a disaster, though.
But people still aren't listening.
Yeah. A lot of people.
Is that really still the case? Like, that's the terrifying thing.
2 days ago, Cuomo had to close the parks because people were playing full 5-on-5 basketball games.
It's the problem is there aren't that many places in New York City to go like outside.
Right.
I mean, not go outside, but go like places you want to hang out outside, like parks and stuff. And because there's so few parks, that everyone goes to the same parks. So everyone's like, I'm quarantined, but hanging out next to like 30,000 people who have the exact same idea to go to this park today.
Just don't
when
go
I saw
to the
that
park.
picture when that big boat came in, the medical boat, and people are just fucking shoulder to shoulder looking at it, and I'm like, how in the like. I don't know. I was telling Jay, like, I'm okay with being quarantined. Like, there's many positives for me on that list, and personality wise, I kind of do this a lot on my own anyway. So, but if I had a apartment in Manhattan where I couldn't like at least just like hang out outside for a little bit, I would. That would be the hardest part for me for sure. But
so
I still wouldn't go to a park.
So far you're pretty good at SOTY?
Oh, we're on almost week 3 at this point of self-isolation. I've been to this, of who?
SOTY. So how are we not? I was saying
Mark's trying to make this a thing, and it's not a thing.
Oh no.
Social distancing. How are we saying there's so many like it's such a long set thing to say.
It's a weird. Yeah.
It's a long. We should just call it SOTY. Make it short.
It's not.
The less syllables, the better.
It's not going to happen.
How quick? Hey, what were you doing? I was SOTYing this weekend. You know it.
No.
Guys, gotta keep SOTY.
It doesn't sound as self-important. You know,
You sound like a hipster ordering a soda at a bar.
Jay told me I can't say soda because that sounds too has the word die in it, which is it's too matter of fact. Yeah. You're doing the SOTY. How is
your area?
Can you make SOTY a thing in Alabama?
I don't know that I want to try. I don't know. I don't feel comfortable with that.
Just drop it with people to see like, yeah. So I'm keeping SOTY. I'm sorry, what? Do you know in South Africa they are enforcing SOTY or social distancing as not so cool people are calling it. They're enforcing it with rubber bullets.
I did not know that. I knew in India they were doing it with sticks.
Yeah, I think rubber bullets. People are going to stay the fuck away from each other.
Yeah.
So to me, that's one of the most interesting things this whole thing's brought up is like, are we a country that at this point has too many rights? Like, is this how great empires fall? Where like you just get to the point where you're like, yeah, I live in Manhattan, and yeah, I probably shouldn't be hanging in a park. But fuck that, I'm hanging in a park. Like, I don't know, maybe things are too free here. Is that possible?
I mean, like, people went on spring break. So if Trump had just said, like, in early February, was like, this shit is really bad, we got to shut this shit down. And he was, he was just like, we're going to national quarantine. No one would have listened to him. He would have gotten so much shit for it. And just not to, like, Trump hasn't done a good job, but if he had tried to shut shit down, no one would have listened to him. No one.
There's a certain percentage of our population that will never listen, no matter what.
Well,
this could get to really terrible situation, and they'll still do it.
Yeah, I saw a Facebook comment, and it was an article about the parks being closed, and some guy's like, "Don't let them infringe upon your rights. Go out to the park." And I'm just like, "This isn't about your whatever amendment rights to go in a park. This is like."
Yeah, I mean, it's also like I talked to a number of people who are, I think, intelligent people, just like casual conversations where they'll be like, yeah, but like the flu kills like 30,000 people a year. And I'm like, the coronavirus is not done. It's going to get a lot worse
Right,
from here.
close,
But that's
yeah.
like trying to explain to people that it might be different than the flu is like just it's a terrible conversation.
The unfortunate thing about this is that if you're at a beach and they say there's a lot of sharks, you got to not swim in the beach today. If you're a fucking idiot and you go swim and you get eaten by a shark, 10 other people don't get eaten by sharks because you went to swim with these fucking sharks. Like what really sucks is that these people, like, you can make good decisions for 3 months on this, and all it's going to take is one fucking idiot to unravel everything you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where I get mad. It's like, I'm being super, super careful. If I leave the house, I spray my whole body in Lysol when I come back in. But there's an idiot who's like, my girlfriend's a nurse. They could sneeze on her, and then it's all for nothing.
Yep.
We should lighten this up a little bit.
Rob, I have some would you rathers.
Okay.
I have some why we were so. Would you rather? So, Rob, how scared of the coronavirus are you? Like from 1 to 10 of actually getting it?
Not
8. Okay, 8. So you're pretty concerned about getting it and what would happen.
I've had multiple lung surgeries, so I believe myself to be in an at-risk situation.
That sounds like you're at risk. What? Just in a quick. What? Why have you had multiple lung surgeries?
I had collapsed lungs multiple times to where they had to graft one of my lungs to my chest wall.
Jesus.
Because it just kept collapsing. So it was a heart surgery team, if that gives you a sense of.
That is pretty hardcore.
Now that said, it's 20 years ago, and outside of occasional, I take more deep breaths than a lot of other people do. Outside of that, I haven't really had any other situations 20 years later from that, but I don't know how this would react to that. I have no idea.
Okay, so let's just say here are the two scenarios that play out. 2 million people get the coronavirus. And you do not, or 1 million people get the coronavirus and you get it. What would you prefer?
Oh my God.
That's terrible.
Yeah,
That's awful.
Remember, you don't know the extra million.
Well, I might.
2 million people and you don't get it. Or 1 million 1 million and you don't get it, or 2 million and you 1 million and you 1 million you don't get it, or 2 million and you get it.
Jesus.
You gotta write
should
the
prep guests for these kind of questions. Somehow I'm in Sophie's choice now. I mean, you have to say 1 million, right?
Yeah, so you're gonna take getting it basically.
Yeah. I mean, again,
you're quite a hero.
No, but no, I'm probably the opposite. I'm probably just smart enough to say 1 million to not sound like an asshole.
Exactly.
Would you rather the anxiety associated with the coronavirus cause you to have a chronic bedwetting problem, or would you rather get the coronavirus?
Does it go away when the virus goes away? Or am I stuck with this for life?
No. So either you bedwet uncontrollably for a month or two on end, or you get the coronavirus. Either or.
Bed. That one's easier. Bedwetting, for sure.
Okay.
You just isolate. I could just find a mattress elsewhere in the house.
Would you rather get a mild case of the coronavirus or find out your wife is pregnant?
Mild case of the coronavirus. That one's not even that hard.
Would you rather have your household run out of toilet paper, or lose all electricity for a month? And by the way, the toilet paper you can't replenish for this month. A month of no toilet paper, or a month of no electricity.
100% run out of toilet paper.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I thought that.
What would you pick on that? Is there a debate on that?
I don't know. Toilet paper's a lot to lose.
No, you just jump in the shower afterwards.
Okay.
To be totally honest, can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to say it anyway.
Oh, bring it.
100%. So when your kids, my kids, and frankly my wife, like during this whole thing of being at home 24 hours a day, there's just like a lot of baths and showers happening all the time. People get bored. They're like, I'm taking a bath. I'm taking a hot shower. I'm doing this. I have openly told people, if you think you're going to take a shower, try and take a dump first and then head to the shower, and don't use any toilet paper in this process. Like, because we have like 12 rolls, which I don't know how long 12 rolls last us, but
you only have 12 rolls left?
Yes.
Okay. Should we
So this might be a reality.
Should we mail him toilet paper? That's
I
not a
feel like
lot.
12's all right.
But
I'm going to have to go to a store eventually. Are you guys not going to stores at all?
I go once a week.
I've been twice in 3 weeks.
So I went last week. For the last time I went was like a week ago, and like I wanted to go run out to the store the other day, and my wife was like, "No," and she's like, she doesn't want me to go food shopping anymore. She thinks we should order food online from now on, like orders from like grocery stores online.
Yeah, we did do that once also. That might go away eventually too.
Yeah, of course. And then you find out like if the soup shit could get really bad. Not to get negative again.
I think it's gonna.
Okay, so you in your household, you're like, we've beat this already because we don't need toilet paper. Okay, how's this? 1 month without your indoor plumbing, or 1 month without any form of electricity?
Oh, like the water doesn't work?
The water works.
So I can
but
shower.
Everything. You could shower.
Oh, but the shit can't go anywhere. Ugh.
You could flush the toilet. Let's just say the toilet. Oh yeah, you're right. The toilet doesn't work. The indoor plumbing, the shower works. The toilet does not work. You could shit in a bucket if you want. If you shit in the toilet, it's not going anywhere. But you can take a shower. Or electricity. You don't have a phone and you don't have internet or lights, basically.
I'm taking. We're rural enough that you could go shit in the woods where I live, and then come in and shower, which would be admittedly the fucking worst. But I mean, can you imagine being with your kids with no electricity for 30 straight days? I love my kids, but they will fucking eat me alive at that point.
It would be amazing if like you just kept having reveals. You were like, actually, we've been shitting in the woods in preparation for this.
We always shit in the woods. This is not new.
Haven't flushed my toilet in 4 years.
But we go camping a lot, so like that's not. And my wife's a big backpacker. Like we can go to the woods, drop it, and shower. I mean,
go
again,
on a camping vacation right now. Like, I mean, like, is
I
there
would
any
not.
problem? Why not?
I mean, you could do backwoods, like, but I feel like a lot of even the camping grounds and stuff. There's people that are like, I've seen a ton of pictures from the Southeast for sure, where people are like, all right, the weather's nice. Let's go camping to get away from this. But they're fucking like car camping 20 feet away from each other and using the same public restroom facilities. Like that's not.
Well, here's the question. Would you right now, would you play golf right now?
No, not doing anything like that.
I wouldn't play golf right now is pretty stupid.
I just think every single time I'm in another place with a human being, I know no one in my house has it.
Do you know why I'm asking about golf? Do you want to know why? Because that's what the president's going to be doing soon.
Oh, well, he's, again, a certified fucking idiot.
The Secret Service has basically rented $45,000 worth of golfing stuff in Virginia, where he's planning on going. He has a golf trip plan during the greatest crisis we may have had since World War II. He's like, gotta get around in.
How? Oh, okay. Where do y'all stand on hoping that he gets coronavirus? Is that too far or not too far?
Do you think, like, if he gets it, here's what I think will be very funny, because this should happen. He will say, I have coronavirus, and the stock market will shoot up that day. Just a giant FU. Everyone's like, good. Get the fuck out of this.
That would be amazing.
Do you think that he would be too stubborn to do anything about it, just to try and prove to his followers that it's not a big deal?
He would hide it for sure. I mean, we'd be in like in FDR territory for sure.
Like he's just like, doing press conferences with the sweats and like saying nothing's wrong.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. I'm gonna make Mike Pence tongue kiss me right now.
Well, that's the second dream, I think. That's solving all the problems.
Who takes over if Pence and who's third in line? Is it Pelosi? Like it definitely like president, vice president. Obviously, we know that one. I think it might be Speaker of the House next, or it could be the head of the Senate. I don't know.
It was whoever took over for Paul Ryan's job, because I think Paul Ryan was third at some point. I don't remember what position Paul Ryan had though.
Brink of sanity, where you come to learn nothing about our government.
Yeah, we got that.
Do you guys use Zoom?
Yeah,
I do now. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's I saw there's a lawsuit against Zoom. Some company or group of lawyers are basically suing Zoom in California for violating people's privacy or something. Do you feel like we all kind of people were using Zoom before, I guess, but like the entire country basically kind of just discovered Zoom. It's kind of free. It makes everyone's lives a lot easier now. Or just like it's nice. You can talk to like people you can't see. Can we just say you can't fucking sue Zoom? Who gives a shit they're violating your privacy?
And part of it's just like they leaked out all your emails. Like, is that a thing you're worried about, that your email's out there?
At some point in like a national crisis, if a company is helping everyone, basically, fuck your stupid privacy.
What I want to know is, who is the guy at Skype that everybody's pointing to and being like, how the fuck did Zoom like come from 12th place to first place out of fucking nowhere during this crisis? Like, I had never said the word Zoom before, and I've been using Skype for 12 years to do a podcast or whatever the fuck it is. And automatically I was like, yep, Zoom's the place to be. Like, how did that fucking happen?
Yeah, it's shocking. The technology's been there. Skype has existed for this long. Zoom's like, we just got here. Everyone's like, I love Zoom.
Yep.
And it's also like Zoom's, I mean, obviously they're pretty big now, but they're still like an independent company. Yeah. Skype is owned by Microsoft. Microsoft has more money than most countries.
Yeah.
And they can't make Skype work. I mean, they work. We're recording it over, but no one gives a shit about Skype.
I don't know at your work or with friends or whatever, but like there was not even a conversation of like, well, should we just use Skype? We already have it. It was just like, no, get Zoom now, motherfucker. We won't survive this without Zoom.
Zoom is the program where my bosses yell at me every day.
Oh, God.
I had one today, like first thing in the morning. My boss is like, I'm calling you over Zoom in 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, what did I do now?
Oh. Could you be like, hey, could you try maybe like Skype instead? I prefer being yelled at, reamed over that.
Can I have like one happy program and one bad one so I know what I'm in for?
Do you mind tomorrow if you want to point out my deficiencies in life over FaceTime instead? I just want to get him. Maybe Google Chat the following day. My family, who knows nothing about technology, figured out Zoom. Like, it's unbelievable how everyone knows how to use it. And Skype, like, Skype has got to be like, oh, just fuck it.
Well, Skype,
they're just gone now. Yeah.
Yeah, they took away, like, they made their program, like, harder and harder to use over the years. Like, we used to have no problem doing shows over Skype, and then we had issues. And, like,
same.
We're still doing it over.
I know, we're still doing it, but, like, I mean, having, like, people call in live, like, we used to be able to do it, now we can't. It's like
they went backwards in their technology. They were like, we got the great version, and we're going to make it shittier over the years.
Yeah, yeah.
But there's no other way you could do video chat with anyone else, so we're good. We don't have to do anything else.
Yeah. When companies get really big, they get cocky, and then that's when they get passed.
Do you guys know? So like our economy obviously is doing really shitty. I think we can all agree on that. Rob, is your job secure right now?
Yeah, I work at a university and we're part of a news station, so we're pretty much full operational. Though they did do a good job of basically people got classified into positions of whether you needed to be on campus or not. And I mean, 90% of campus is not on campus at this point, and the people who are tend to be like a lot of my organization is like hard news, and a lot of those people want to be there. Like they would not have it any other way. So it's been a big plus, I think, so far.
So you're going there every day?
I am not. I am level 2 because most of my stuff is like video editing, podcast editing, that kind of stuff. I can do all that from home. Oh, okay. They want as few people on campus as humanly possible.
So certain businesses in this economy are doing really well. Obviously, Amazon's doing well, and like any kind of home delivery. And any like groceries in general do really well. March was the second busiest month ever for the sales of this product in the United States. Can you guys try to take some guesses? March was the second busiest month ever for U.S. sales on this product.
I mean, my gut want to says like Clorox wipes or something, but my instinct says you're going in a real fucking weird direction here.
It's not dildos, but it's which would be interesting if it was. So it was the second busiest month ever for the sale of guns.
Yeah, that sounds right. Alabama probably heavy contributors on this. Just
yeah. Do you feel like actually, if Alabama is probably a heavy contributor there, do you feel like just to keep up with your neighbors, you need to get some guns?
No, for sure. But I do know when they named the essential businesses to stay open in Alabama, gun stores were one of them.
Why do people think people are getting something that's like the flu? I bet I can shoot it.
Because they don't. Do you guys believe there is? And we were talking about Walking Dead before we started the show. There's definitely a good number of the population that sort of thrives on this idea of society falling apart. Don't you think?
Have
Yes,
you seen the InfoWars comment section?
Sure, that's fair.
Have you seen the comment section on the internet? It's also like all those people that were like survivalists and like preparing for this are like, it's finally fucking here. That's why I'm glad I have my 1,700 guns and like my food supplies for the next 17 years. We're ready.
Well, even when I was whatever. Even when I was, very early on, I definitely went into prepper mode and was like, I'm just going to grab, not like hoarding, but like, I'm going to go get a bunch of food that'll last me 3 weeks so I don't have to go out of the house because of my lungs. Yeah. And like there was, and this at this point we had 70 cases in the state. So now granted, our fucking testing is, if you think New York is struggling on testing, Alabama is like testing. I think we're at 0.01% of the population has been tested, which is
I have the I know how the coronavirus test in Alabama works. Do you guys want to hear how it works?
Oh, dear God. I feel like I accidentally set myself up for a bit.
Here's how it works. Well, do you think you have it?
That's it.
End of test. Honestly, I'm not sure that.
Well, I don't know.
I think our numbers are grossly underrepresented at this point.
Do you know in California they're so behind in testing that like the numbers in California aren't that high. There's like something 10,000 or 15,000, but they're waiting. They're waiting on 65,000 tests right now because they're so backlogged. So the numbers in California might jump dramatically just because they can finish the fucking tests.
Well, I mean, back to the gun thing. This is brought to you by the country who the police had to issue a statement saying, "Please don't shoot at the hurricane."
So I mean that's amazing. So it's in second place. This is March was the second busiest month ever for U.S. gun sales. There's actually I don't know how they're tied, but there's two events in our history that are actually tied for the most gun sales for a month. Can you see if you guys can guess what two events basically had the most gun sales after that in that month?
9/11.
9/11, right? Yeah.
No.
What?
And part of its influence, I mean, like you could say part of it, as the population grows, there are more people just to purchase guns.
Okay.
But 9/11, you would think like
that the event seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah, that seems like I'd go to the store and buy a gun. I understand the terrorists are coming here. They, what beats that?
The finale of Game of Thrones.
That would be fair. I kind of yes, but you have to like.
So like if they fuck this ending up, I swear to God.
There's only two of them. And they directed this shit, and we're gonna fucking home gunpoint until they make a new last episode. So try a couple more guesses, and I'll tell you guys. Two events. So I'll tell you both of these events have happened in the last 10 years.
Yeah, I was gonna say it has to all be after 2000.
Okay, I'm gonna guess the swine flu and Ebola.
Oh, you're going other pandemics.
Yeah.
No, pandemics don't make people that busy. Rob, any last guesses, Rob?
I would have said Columbine, but you said post 2000.
I will say post 2010.
Oh, Jesus. No, I don't know.
Okay, so here's the first one. January 2013, right after Barack Obama was reelected.
Oh my God. I got to get out of this goddamn country.
If that one So that's the first one. The second one will make you feel so much worse.
Oh God.
The second one's so much worse than the first one.
Is it one of the police killing ones?
It's actually worse.
Oh no.
Sandy Hook Elementary.
Oh, that seems weird.
Yeah.
Oh, is it because they were worried people were going to take their guns? So let's fucking stock up now.
Mm.
I think this actually. I think I was reading it wrong. I think both these events happened the same month. Sandy Hook and Obama being reelected were both January 2013.
Okay.
But yeah, those two events basically, people were like, they're going to take my guns.
They're going to take them. Okay, that makes a little more sense.
And we all have to finally take out that black man. I don't know.
It's fucking awful.
Every event is turned into going to take our guns, but they never take the guns. So, like, are they going to catch on at some point?
I mean, the guy at the gun store must be like, yeah, I mean, this coronavirus, they're going to take your guns out. Yeah, keep buying. It makes total sense. Whatever. Groundhog Day, the groundhog's going to take your guns. Yeah, keep buying.
Kill the groundhog.
Yeah, a leap year. I never fucking heard of that either. The fucking communists. Buy the guns.
We're an embarrassment.
By the way, we're so fucked. If there's any real food shortages, Alabama, all those states, they have the guns. We're fucked in New York.
Well, luckily, no one wants to go near New York right now, so
we got
you don't have to worry about that.
We got a force field. Oh yeah, you're gonna do something about it? Come to my fucking state. I thought so. Actually, a friend of mine was telling me he was rollerblading. Over the other day, and he was rollerblading, and he kind of went close to someone as he was going around them. They were walking, and kind of went around them, and the guy flipped out and started screaming at him like he wanted to fight him. Because he'd gone too close to him, and he's like, "What the fuck did the guy think was going to happen? I'd fucking kick your ass if not for social distancing." What are you gonna? You're upset about him not social distancing, so you just scream at him. I don't know. Anyway,
well, that stuff's going to be weird when, and who knows how many waves of this there are and all that shit. But when things normalize to the point where people are sort of more back out in public, how many of these things are do you think everything's gonna fade away super fast, or are we gonna go through a year of people just sort of being uneasy, being close to other people?
I think definitely we're going to uneasy first. There's no way people are gonna switch on off and just be like, okay, I'm back in society, everything is great, get on a plane, go.
I don't know. I worry that there are people that will. I mean,
there probably are, but I feel like it's gonna be a lot of people are gonna be very hesitant.
Yeah.
They'll be like, nice to meet you. I'm not going to shake your hand, ass. Oh, I guess we can shake hands now. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to lash out. I don't know. I feel like it's going to be this stuff.
The subway is going to be a lot of fun.
It's not it's going to be it's over, we're done. It's going to be the cases are going down. We think we have it under control. We have some medicine to treat it. It's not going to be right. Hopefully it's not till the vaccine a year and a half from now. So
right.
If they tell you Alabama's under control, there haven't been too many new cases, are you going to be cool, let's go to the movie theater?
No.
Are you going to go to a mall?
It'll be a while.
What about a whorehouse?
Yesterday. Wait, can I catch it having sex with people? I'm confused.
If you're doing online dating, by the way, and she's willing to meet if she's willing to meet with you, you're getting laid that night, right?
Oh, yeah, but also Tinder has to be taking a hit, right?
I had to, of course, yes.
Yeah, you're not just no.
You're want to have virtual sex over Zoom? Fuck it, let's look at porn.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Rob, I have a question for you. Do you ever, while work is going, have ChatterBait on the background?
I do not. No.
Would that be weird to do that, Jay?
I think that would be perfectly normal.
I am guessing some of these porn sites are seeing. They're normally we have crazy traffic at 11 o'clock at night. We never have it at 2 in the afternoon.
Well, it's a whole different crew. You got to see who's on.
I bet the day crew just suddenly went up substantially.
They did in Astoria.
I was thinking also, Jay dropped this bomb about yesterday about the watching porn during work, which interesting. But yeah, you know when they talk about something going viral,
Like in the office or at home?
No, here, because now we work from home. We're
Oh, you're saying now. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes more sense.
no, at the end, Jay's like, I don't even have a cubicle. I'm in an open floor plan, but fuck it, I gotta look at the.
But he doesn't have kids, so like that's a
Yeah,
whole
no.
different dimension.
Yeah. You know, like they talk about like videos going viral, and they're like, 2 million people saw this funny video of this kid singing a song about the coronavirus, whatever it is.
Oh, I hate those.
Yeah. Why don't they ever talk about like the 2 people made a sex video and went viral? Why is porn never talked about going viral? Like anytime I look at like you go on PornTube, like then like you look at like a number of times the video is like it's like daddy babysitter porn, and it's like 37 million views. I'm like, that went viral.
Well, but that also brings up the question of like the deadliest trap in the world, which is when you're on those sites, why is the share button there? Who is the person that's utilizing this button?
I always thought that,
like,
yeah, or like on Facebook, and I was like, nah, I don't think I'm gonna do that.
Or why is there a comment section?
No, I get why there's a comment section.
Really, Jay? You not only look at you also comment on this stuff?
No, but I've seen people be like, "Oh, who is that?"
Okay, fair. That's a fine comment.
Yeah.
You're not like, hey, I have some video editing tips for her because I'm next time they want to do the video, they shoot at a different angle.
Right? No.
There's a lot of weird stuff on there. It's also like what do they have? Like they have like a, I don't know. The world of porn is very weird. Rob, do you
I
prefer...
do like the idea of a person.
What?
I do like the idea of a person who is just so okay with themselves. They're like, no, I feel like I should share this. This is a good one. People should see this. Like that's a great take for someone to have.
You know, it'd be great. Also, you know, there are people that like just
that would
on
be
their
such
own,
a power move on Facebook.
If they people on their own become like these like they become like a restaurant reviewer on Yelp, or they become like a hotel reviewer on whatever site. Like people go out of the way to become like I want to review stuff. What if you just went on porn sites on the comment section and wrote long reviews of all the clips?
Oh, someone's got to be doing that. That would be a great YouTube show. I would be interested in that.
Just long, well thought out.
That's real thoughtful. Yeah.
I'm the Leonard Maltin of porn.
So anyway, I think the this babysitter thing, it's analogous to Shakespeare. This was like more of like a Hamlet thing they had here. But that'd be really great.
I think it would be fantastic.
I think I found a project for tomorrow.
I was gonna say we might be wasting our time right now. We got to get on this.
Jay, do you ever the Chatterbait thing? Do you ever like pay? Like you're supposed to be like give them like coins or something like that to do stuff?
Yeah, I have.
How much have you spent on this?
Not a lot. Over the course of like 4 or 5 years, maybe like $100.
Wait. I need some background because I don't know this app all that well, and since it's clearly
Rob's
going to be a topic.
Go on, Rob.
Chatterbait's a live webcam website,
like a streaming. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait. So does your girlfriend know you're doing this?
Honey, what do you talk about in the podcast? Chatterbait.
I think it's one of those like don't ask, don't tell type of things.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Wait, but you mean like don't ask, don't tell, like she knows you look at porn, or don't ask, don't tell, she knows you actually look at Chatterbait?
Those are very different.
Right. Yeah. I think it's the former, not the latter.
Okay. Because it'd be like interesting if she was just like, yeah, cam girls, that makes sense to me. That's what.
But I like that you're talking about it here. Like you're playing. You're the living version of the Facebook share button on these websites right now. Like right. You are just dangerous.
So it's a live website chat, but a lot of them have like you could buy tokens, and a lot of them have like a menu, like take off my shirt for 10 tokens and take off my pants for 20. So like, you could sit there and wait for somebody else to tip, or you can tip yourself.
And so she waits for a certain number of tips, and then she'll like take off her pants. Is
Right.
that the idea?
Yeah. Or you could do it all in one. It would be like, if you tip me this much right now, then I'll just do it right away.
So, Rob, in case you don't know, Jay's girlfriend is a nurse. She currently is basically she's on the front line battling coronavirus, saving America, while Jay's like, here's another $5. Take off. Can you touch yourself?
When you put it like that, I sound like a real asshole.
It sounds bad.
I don't think there's any way out of this. Thanks, Mark.
Honey, the money you make from trying to save the planet? I use that on Chatterbait.
But it's going to needy Colombian women.
Yes. Most of these women come from third world countries because they're kidnapped.
Well, so I'm helping them pay their way out.
So basically, honey, you are saving lives, and I am donating some money to people who might be slaves.
Do you want to do some emails?
I found a place where I could order you some N95 masks, but she was too slow in taking her top off, and nobody else was really leading the charge. So I had to get in there and do what was best for everyone.
Actually, earlier today, Jay was like, here's $5 in tokens. Put on the mask. Jay's like, I'm really into the coronavirus porn. It's weird and all, but
hey, do you think, just to go half a topic back,
sure.
Do you think there is a podcast out there where like you'd have to find a way to do it funny, but like there could be something? Do you ever? I don't particularly like the show, but I like the idea of the doughboys who do all like the reviews of fast food restaurants with comedians. Like it's a very simple concept, but they'll go to IHOP and
is that a YouTube thing?
It's a podcast, but it was pretty popular. It's not. I don't love it, but
I mean, it's a clever. I mean, as far as ideas, like going anything where people eat like a lot of shitty food, like it's like that kind of. It's fun to listen to people like gorge themselves in some ways.
Well, and also everybody has a connection to like if they go to Bennigan's, I'm like, oh fucking Bennigan's, this is gonna be hysterical. What's this gonna sound like? But what if you did something with like what if the two of you brought on a comedian every week and just reviewed one single Pornhub clip, like 1 10-minute Pornhub clip, and you went fucking deep. You're talking about like the aesthetic of the location and the writing and all this kind of like somebody's got to be doing that, right?
I'm just asking you, like, why do you think she had that deep yearning to have her husband watch her suck black cock? I'm just wondering. Do you like? Let's just talk about the motivations. What do you think happened in her childhood?
You would listen to this, would you not?
I think I would. If they, in the description they put the link so you can see what they're talking about.
Yeah, you'd have to watch it ahead of time. Exactly. But with the right personalities, that's a hit show. I would listen to that, and if it was funny, that would be great.
Tune in this week, but you have to watch this 10-minute clip beforehand, so we all on the same page.
Yeah,
it'd be kind of like the Ringer does the rewatchables.
It would be I love that show. Yeah, like that.
But with a slightly like more disgusting thing to talk about.
Well, and it needs to be just like the 10-minute clip, not like the full movie. Like it's funnier almost that you're not getting the full version.
Right.
So the 7-minute and 19-second clip that we're going deep on.
So we're all agreed for this clip that it was okay because she was his stepsister. We're cool with that, right? And the next clip, for some reason or another, I think she borrowed his car, so she's blowing him. Okay, this makes sense.
Yeah,
right,
see that, but that's part of the interesting thing is there's a lot of conjecture because you're skipping around. You don't know. You gotta. There's things you need to figure out through context clues.
Yeah, we could also make predictions and then watch the full clip and go like, we were right. We got the motivation.
Oh, I like that too. Yep, like an epilogue. That's good.
Do you think like I guess you're right. She really just wanted the part. That's why she did that in the when she was on the couch. Do you guys get on a different note? Did you guys get a postcard from the CDC?
No.
Maybe I'm the one that got. Jay, did you get this?
No, it's probably only for rich people.
Apparently, there's a running thing on our show that Jay thinks I am rich for some reason. Anyway, I'm not. But I do get. I can't afford to get a CDC postcard. I thought it seemed like it went. It seemed like something that like everyone would have gotten. It was basically the CDC telling, like, warning you about social distancing and the coronavirus. I just thought it was funny because I pictured basically the CDC sending this to all of America, spending all this money getting, and I got the postcard like 3 days ago.
Like I'm already cured. Yeah,
Like
we've been through this.
the dumbest way to spend money. They're like if you are just learning about the coronavirus 3 days ago from a postcard you're getting in your mail, are you really like, you're like, honey, look what's going on. Read this postcard, honey. Or were you like, honey, I am not going to go to the party tonight. Read the fucking postcard. You cannot go to that. You cannot go to the Tupperware party. Look at what the postcard says.
Did it say, I know we've been telling you not to use masks for the last 3 months, but just kidding about that?
Oh yeah, Trump is going to switch that. He said I think they said now Americans should just wear masks.
Yes. Yeah.
There was a thing.
There's no masks.
Right.
There are no masks. They're like, you need a mask in public. Now try to find one. Ha 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 ha.
Well, maybe that was their plan, to get people to stay inside. You're going to die if you don't have a mask, and there's no masks. So fill in the blank.
There was a thing there where they showed like countries that are wearing masks and then countries that are not wearing the mask. It looks a lot shittier in the countries that are not wearing masks.
So do you guys have masks?
I have one.
We have like 2, I think, left.
Of the real ones or the doctor ones?
No, basically like playing doctor ones.
Yeah.
I have the doctor one, so I put I have like a gauze pad that I put in between my mouth and the mask, so I could reuse the mask.
I saw a video or a still picture of someone at Costco wearing and we have these. Have you seen like the new kind of diving masks that they sell like at Walmart, which are like full face suction and they have like a tube sticking out the top? It's sort of like a modern day snorkel situation.
I have not seen that.
So I'll send you a
picture. Funny,
actually. Basically, it's like full hard plastic covering your entire face, and it does like sort of suction to your face, and then out the top like a unicorn is this thing, and like the idea is when you're snorkeling, the thing sticks out the top, but you're just breathing into this mask, and there's no openings in the front of it. So like, I'm not saying someone could sneeze 2 inches from your face and you'd be fine, but I looked at it, I'm like, look at that fucking idiot, and I was like, wait a minute, I have fucking 3 of those, and I'm not entirely sure that's not my best bet right now because we do not have masks.
Yeah. Okay.
Could you, in good faith, wear that to a store? Are we at the point now where you just cannot give a shit and that's the right choice?
I think so.
The last time I went to I went last Friday to the grocery store, and like everyone was wearing masks, and I saw at least one guy wearing like the N95 mask. People are like fucking worried now, so you could probably get away with wearing anything. You could wear the Jason mask for Friday the 13th, and people be like, "Way to protect yourself."
Yeah, good job, Jason.
I think right now, like, I'm sure there's at least 2 people who have died who've just put a plastic bag over their head with a rubber band and be like, I'm safe.
You're probably right, honestly. Cut a hole in the back.
Yeah. So I was listening to like another podcast, and I'm just like taking this story right from another podcast, but it's about a book that came out a while ago. But it is. So I guess let me ask you, would you rather? Jay, you're included. Would you rather have the coronavirus, and I'm not saying it's mild or whatever, you're rolling your dice with this, or would you rather have a 9-month sexual relationship with a dolphin? This guy Malcolm Brenner wrote a book called Wet Goddess, a book about his 9-month sexual relationship with a dolphin.
I think I heard about that. It's crazy.
He claims he started a relationship with the dolphin back in 1970. He was in his early 20s. He was a sophomore at the New College in Florida, in Sarasota. A writer hired Brenner to take photographs for a children's book about a dolphin show at an amusement park nearby. He was given free access to the park and introduced to the staff. He claims that the dolphin courted him. Initially, she became more and more aggressive, said Brenner. She would thrust herself against me. But over time, Dolly the dolphin became more gentle. I found that extraordinarily erotic. It's like being a tiger or a bear. This is an animal that could kill you in 2 seconds if it wanted to. After 9 months, the affair ended because the amusement park closed and moved away.
This is already a great movie.
I had every intention of going to visit the dolphin where it moved, but it didn't work out. I learned the hard way dolphins are chattel and much more emotionally vulnerable than I could ever imagined.
If this isn't Free Willy 3, then there's no justice in the world.
Wouldn't it be great if Free Willy 1 and 2 were good kids movies and part 3 is the most horrible erotic movie you've ever seen?
They went like full on porn, just NC-17 showed everything.
Part 1, nice kids movie. Part 2, not quite as good of a kid movie, but still a nice kids movie. Part 3, it's the worst thing you've ever seen on screen.
Now, how many tokens do you have to buy for this dolphin to blow you? It's my question.
I want the dolphin to touch its vagina. Well, sir, just touch it. What was that movie? The one that won the best picture for that was kind of like this.
Oh,
Do you remember
like
it came out
the
like
Animal Love?
Yeah, it was like a fish. It was like a fish person.
the one with the
Oh,
guy.
life, water. What is that called?
Like Water for Chocolate?
Yes, yeah.
No, that's definitely not the movie.
No, it's not.
100%.
Water.
Your guys go.
The something of water. The
Yeah.
shape of water.
Shape of Water. Yeah, it was basically like she was fucking a sea creature, which was like bizarre.
It was the sidekick from Hellboy.
By the way, here's a question for you. True or false, Brenner's relationship with the dolphin was legal.
Was this in America?
It's in Florida, so
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, legal. Florida legals.
So is it legal or not in Florida? Or was it legal?
I'm going to say absolutely.
I'm gonna say yes too.
Okay, so yes, it was legal at the time, but now bestiality is illegal in Florida. When do you think that happened? When did bestiality become illegal in Florida?
2014.
2011.
Great.
During 2011, the Florida legislature was debating it. By the way, bestiality law took 3 times to pass the government there.
Oh my God, who are the people standing up like,
Right.
we cannot do this. This is wrong.
Like just negotiating over this. Okay, dude, I will make it show you whatever company you're working for. I'll get tax breaks. Just I want to fuck my dog without going to jail. What the hell? Also, why in God's name in 2011 did Florida even need to take this up? Because it had to be a problem.
Oh, I thought it was based on this case. It wasn't this thing that.
No, it was not based. I mean, what the guy did happen in the 1970s.
Oh, that was 70. Okay.
Yeah, this was I mean, the book came out in like 2011, around the same time. But when he did it, it was completely legal because Florida was like, fuck whatever, how many fish you want, whatever. But in 2011, they were like, we really need to pass this.
I don't know.
Now, what if the dolphin, like, what if people witnessed the dolphin, like, really asking for it? At that point, are you kind of okay with it?
So, you know,
Like-
at some point, like the dolphin, was the dolphin like scantily dressed? Like,
Well, like, if it's like backing up into him and like making happy dolphin noises, is there
maybe.
consent?
Is there? I mean, maybe the dolphin was just into it. Dolphins are pretty smart. They know when they have a good deal going.
That's true.
So the bestiality bill, SB 344, bans sexual activity between humans and animals, and has been championed for years by Senator Nan Rich. By the way, you're the local senator, like the state senator, known for like, what's your platform again, sir? I want to ban fucking animals. God, that's what you're known for, also. Rich took up the anti-bestiality fight after a number of cases involving sexual activity with animals in recent years, including a panhandle man who was suspected of accidentally asphyxiating a family goat during a sex act, and the abuse of a horse in the Keys. The bills would make such acts a first-degree misdemeanor.
Was he
Not-
like this? This goat's gonna really get off if I'm choking it at the same time. What is he doing?
This goat only gets off if it's auto
That's what I mean.
asphyxiation.
Like, that seems like an unnecessary step for this guy to get what he's looking for.
Listen,
Choke it.
my partner enjoys it also. It's not just about me. I am a sharing lover. I'm a considerate lover.
He's got a code word.
If the goat doesn't like it, it'll make whatever sound goats make.
If he starts chewing on this can, I know to stop.
He puts the goat in a gimp suit.
Wait. Does Bob mean harder? Shit, I don't fucking remember. This ended, the passage of this bill ended a long and frustrating quest for Rich, who had been trying to pass a law since 2009. It took him 2 years to get this going. Like, he couldn't, like, in 2009, he was like, guys, you against bestiality? Can we all just raise our hands and say yes and pass this? Okay, fuck, we have to discuss this shit.
We live in the most embarrassing country. We really do.
The measure floundered in the Florida State House of Representatives because lawmakers said they didn't want to be accused of wasting time addressing a rare crime when Floridians needed them to help create jobs. And they also didn't want to debate the icky subject in a public meetings occasionally frequented by children. What's the debate? You're acting like there's another side.
Right. Can't they just pass around a piece of paper and be like, do you agree no one should fuck animals? Yes. Okay. We've all agreed. We're done.
Sounded like they had some really stealthy goat fuckers in there. So,
Yeah,
So-
can't you can't
Great
get
documentary if there's one person in that town that's like fighting hard to keep this alive. Like that's something I'm watching also.
Oh my god, a 10-part series for Netflix.
the last goat fucker.
Because
You nailed it now.
immediately, if you're the guy defending it, like that's one of those situations where immediately everybody looks at you and goes, "Oh, okay, let's see what's happening here."
Yeah, it's basically like you're like, listen, we're gonna have to debate. Someone's gonna have to make a case for banning this. You can't just go like, no fucking animals. We all agreed. They're picturing someone be like, well, let's debate the other side of this. What if the animal was wearing lipstick?
And what about chickens? And what about mice? And they just start going down. You got to approve everyone.
Could you imagine? There's people out there that were hiring lobbyists, being like, okay, you gotta stop. You gotta stop the goat fucking bill. I'm not gonna fuck a goat. I just want it to be legal still because I want my rights.
I just want to have the
Because
option.
if I can't fuck a goat, you're gonna take my guns, motherfucker.
Do you think there were like libertarians who were like, I don't want government telling me what I can do with an animal?
Probably.
First they take our goat fellatio, then they take our guns. It's a slippery slope.
Yeah. So basically, you expected us to be talking coronavirus all this time, and so far we've talked about animal fucking and Chatterbait. Exactly where you thought the show would go.
By the two highlights for me, though, I'll tell you that. It's got to be hard for y'all though to like on the one hand, like you can't not talk about it, obviously. But is there any part of you, like Mark? You said you're just on the. I feel like people are either on the knee deep in I'm researching everything, I'm reading everything, I'm keeping up with everything, or which I have shifted to the latter of these. I know I'm isolated. I'm going to leave my house barely ever at all. I just can't read about this all day long because it's too fucking depressing.
I am reading about this constantly because I can't stop reading about this because there's nothing else to fucking read about. Every time I go to the New York Times or like anything, I'm reading shit about this all the time.
Doesn't it make you more? Do you feel more anxious doing that though?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's like a weird chronic. I was doing it in the beginning and I finally like weaned myself and was like, oh my God, these days are a lot easier if I can. But again, as I said in the beginning, you guys are closer to a worse situation right now than I am.
I mean, first of all, I need sports so badly. I mean, sports should be playing. They should be doing they shouldn't be playing baseball or basketball or anything else. But it'd be so great to put on the Met game or the Knick game and just worry about that shit and like pretend like that escape would be so awesome right now because pretty much everything's about coronavirus. I used to spend like we have to do a Knicks podcast for no apparent reason, and I used to spend so much time just like reading Knicks blogs and comment sections, like just following stuff on Twitter. I found it enjoyable to get angry about or like just the debate about like Frank Ntilikina should be playing or are the Knicks ever win a fucking game? Like those debates were great. And now all that energy I devoted to the Knicks are just on this goddamn virus, and I can't. Stop it.
This would not solve the problem you're talking about, but
Yeah.
why immediately at this point why hasn't someone at MLB just said, we're running the year Hank Aaron broke the record. We're running every fucking game. We're going to televise on MLB Network all day long, every day. We're going to play every single recorded game from this season. I get that it's not the same thing, but playing these classic games is not quite the same for me because it's just so one and done. NBA should just be we're just going to play through starting in 1982 every NBA playoff game until this thing's over to give you some chronology to what you're watching.
Or the Bulls'
Wouldn't you watch
72 win season.
Yeah.
That would be cool. I agree. The only thing is that stuff all sounds cool, but I don't think that would tune me away from the coronavirus. I feel it's one thing about live sports. I might check that out every once in a while, but I guess I'd still be stuck in the shit. Yeah.
So you know how the Knicks had the really good run in the 90s and they had a really good run in the 70s? So MSG is all right, we're going to air some older Knicks games to, keep your fix. So tonight we are running the game that Bobby Portis got 22 points from 2020.
Oh my God.
That's a true story.
Do you think there must be rights issues or something with it? Because wouldn't you rather see fucking, the Willis off the bench while he's injured game and shit like that?
Who wants to recap a game from this season? This season sucked.
Awful.
I mean, we just do the 2012-13 season. At least there were 154 games that season. At least there was something to cheer for.
Yeah. Or baseball, just start in the earliest World Series you have and every week play all 7 games.
Why don't they, as far as e-gaming, why don't they just run, they also have every game e-game version?
There's definitely a lot more of that cropping up. The NBA is starting their thing tomorrow night, but that's not simulating. That's just NBA stars playing each other.
UFC's been doing that.
Oh, simulating?
No, showing
showing.
Yeah, here's the first 10 UFCs.
Yeah. Honestly, I wouldn't know who won any of those things. I could sit and watch it as if those were new.
So, by the way, the XFL, that's over, right? And I don't mean they're not playing games. That's just gone. There's no way they're surviving this, right?
No.
Yeah.
I think the answer was no before coronavirus.
Yeah.
I'm afraid.
The XFL also they could still be playing games. I'm just not aware.
I love these people who still are a secondary football league. It's gonna take this time. This is the time.
This is the time. This is really gonna be the best part of it. Is I was listening to something. They were what you need for a league, you need star players. As soon as someone's good in that league, the NFL is gonna be how about you come play here instead? They'll be okay, cool, I'll do that.
I mean, the USFL had the best chance of it ever and had legitimate stars in it, and that lasted 3 years.
But they also competed on money because they were actually paying the players enough. That's the only way to do it. But the salaries are so outrageous in the NFL. There's no way a league is going to be I'll pay Tom Brady $30 million instead.
Guys, what if we started a league that's the same sport as an already established one, but all the players are worse? All of them.
You know what? Well, what
in cities you don't care about?
Yeah.
We'll make it cooler by making minor rule changes.
Mm-hmm.
Very minor rule changes, and the NFL could just take these changes if they like them better.
Do the players still suck?
What if they just did they should just change what if everyone wanted those sumo suits and they play a football league like that?
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I watched Slam Ball.
Yeah, I would watch. That would be something really different. It would be kind of funny. It would be amusing to watch people fall over themselves and try to play really in a sumo suit.
Did you watch Slam Ball, Rob?
I did not.
Do you know what that is?
Oh,
I remember hearing about it, but no. What is it?
That was
the
bad.
name of the show is Rob.
Oh, the trampoline thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, I did see that. That was
kind of amusing. I kind of enjoyed that actually.
I don't even want to suggest this because there's enough fucktards who would be into this idea. But if you're going to go for an alternative audience in sports, why aren't they taking a cue from politics and being okay, we're going to do the NFL, except that this isn't for fucking pussies anymore. Like, you get points for concussing people, and you can like just go all in on this horrible Trump world of sports. And I actually think you could get some traction out of those fucking maniacs.
So I am making like my version of football involves like making it like Nerf. Like it's like everyone's bouncing off each other, kind of funny. You are making it like Hunger Games.
Like, I want the NFL to. I for the record, I do not agree with this idea. I'm just saying that's the crowd that seems to get into this kind of stuff. Like,
I was gonna say it's gonna be terrible that like you're gonna keep talking about this idea and it's gonna take off and they're all gonna thank you for it.
I know, and I won't get a dime for it.
Rob, we really appreciate the idea. It was such a great idea. By the way, the body count this week is.
So you want to have like NFL, but with like same rules, but no gear, no helmets, no pads.
Yeah, lower.
That's called rugby.
All right. Well, all right. This is a good brain exercise. If this was for the Trump crowd, the like fucking real right wing crowd,
mm-hmm.
you want it to be physical as hell, right? You want people beating the living shit out of each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing whites only.
Obviously.
So we just get rid of everybody else, and it's just white people in the league, because that would be a big plus for them. Mm-hmm. What else do we need to keep people happy in there? How can we involve guns?
Paintball guns. Like, you can't do regular guns, but paintball guns.
You can snipe at people once per game.
Well, instead of like a cheerleader halftime show, you could have like the local militia do like a target shooting,
doing like a goose step across the field.
They could shoot a couple of like animals, defenseless animals, at half court.
Or you just hang non-white people. I mean, what's going to get the crowd more riled than that? True.
Maybe the announcers could have like a quarter where they have to say faggot like at least 10 times.
The team that finishes in the last place just has to change their mascot to that for the next season.
the Ohio Faggots for the whole season.
Oh, this is going to work, isn't it?
I think
they have like an MVP, the best player in the league, and the worst player in the league who has to like transition as a result of this.
He becomes president. They just shift him in after 4 years.
I meant he had to have a sex change operation because he's the worst player in the league. Now you're going to be a real pussy.
I think we're on to something.
I feel uncomfortable with this idea.
Where's an investor when you need one?
By the way, the MVP gets to pick 3 women out of the crowd and impregnate them on the field.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Grabs them by the pussy.
And then we do a podcast reviewing the intercourse.
By the way, the league only when is the season for the league? Only during the pandemic. We only play games in times of crisis. We're fucking
You can't wear a mask, but fans cannot wear masks, right?
No.
It won't be a problem because it's a hoax anyway, right?
Oh, good point. Yeah, we don't have to worry.
Are there really people still believing this is a hoax?
Yes.
Outside of
the guy who lives across the street from my dad.
Really?
Yeah.
What is his what does he think? What does he think this is?
Overreaction. He thinks it's the flu and people are just being faggots.
Back in my day,
the Ohio faggots to you.
We all got the Spanish flu and we were better for having gotten it.
I mean, if they're dying, that just means they're pussies. Should have bought more guns.
Yeah.
He has guns, by the way.
The guy across the street from you?
Yeah.
Hey, Jay, your family is like hardcore into Trump, right?
Yeah, everyone except me and my dad. We're the only 2 in the whole family.
So the rest of your family, how do they think? What's their view on the whole pandemic?
That Trump acted perfectly. He did a great job, and it's just nobody could have foreseen what's happening. Nobody. Not even the experts who gave Trump a 2-month heads up.
Rob, do you have any? Maybe you are a Trump supporter, Rob. I'm guessing you're not. Do you have anyone?
Definitely not.
Any of you in your family? Do you have any Trump supporters that you know?
Not really. No.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I definitely know a ton, but not in my like close family for sure.
Just curious. Do you guys feel like also in fairness to Trump, like the pandemic. We've had a bunch of pandemics. We had like not pandemics. We had a bunch of these viruses. Like there was SARS, there was MERS, there was the bird flu. Do you feel like the pandemics were kind of playing like Boy Who Cried Wolf with us?
I mean,
Not like I
get it. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like we kept hearing about these things and kept being like, "Oh my God, there's the avian flu. Okay, it's solved. Not a big deal. Oh, we're all gonna die of Ebola. Okay, we the government took care of it. We're good."
Well, and some of that too, I think, and 9/11 being like the one glaring exception to this. Like, we just live in a country where we've been isolated from bad things. I mean, lots of bad things brought onto us by ourselves, but like bad things coming into our country and ravaging it in some way. Like, it's not like we've, it's been 200 years since we fought a war on this turf, all those kind of things. I just think we're just like not equipped to think this is a thing that can happen to us.
You do not know the war on poverty and the war on drugs took place on our turf?
Well, sure. Yes. I retract everything I said.
God, I mean, come on. And War of the Worlds was filmed here in America. Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's we're only good at dealing with problems. Like we can react to problems. We're not good at like having the foresight.
Mm-hmm.
Nancy Reagan would be so upset with you. Her entire thing was the war on drugs.
I'm okay with that.
Just say no to pandemics.
Like, just say no was the stupidest thing.
Yep.
Hey, don't do drugs. I'm 9. Like, I'm 9. I'm not doing drugs. I don't even know what a drug is. If you gave me a drug,
teaching me.
Yeah, I wouldn't know what a drug
right
was.
now.
So I have a question for you guys. So would you so Jay, I know you're basically quarantined. You go out a little bit, but you're generally staying in your apartment, right?
Yeah, I went out briefly today, but I wore my mask and did my whole Lysol bath and everything.
Where did you have to go today, Jay?
I got breakfast.
Get more tokens for Chatterbait.
I went to the Chatterbait token store.
Could you imagine? Jay's like, they're like, "Sir, you know there's like a pandemic. I need more fucking tokens. No one else is paying her fast enough."
My pockets are jingling on the way home, filled with Chatterbait tokens.
Could you send my unemployment check directly to Chatterbait? Rob, are you basically quarantined?
Yes. Yeah. I've only been literally out of my property. We live in a neighborhood where you can kind of go on a walk every night and not be near anybody. You just go the other side of the street.
Yeah.
And no, other than that, 2 grocery stores in 21 days, basically.
I'm in the suburbs here, and you could pretty much go. By the way, I'm in Long Island. I looked. Long Island currently has more reported cases than every state in America besides New Jersey and New York. Like, we have more reported cases in Long Island than California. California will jump us, but right now we have more reported cases in fucking Long Island than fucking California. So anyway, and also where I live, by the way, I can go for a walk. Also, like generally we're the suburbs. Suburbs are the suburbs. But anyway, let's say your house. I guess if you had a problem with would you allow an exterminator into your house?
No.
What if you had like a problem with like small ants?
No, absolutely not. No.
What if there were a lot of small ants?
No.
What if there were 1 million small ants in your house? I'm not saying you're allowing the coronavirus. I'm just saying, so I've had, and Jay knows this, I've had some problems with these are really small ants. Okay. But I've had times where there were at least 1 million of them were in my kitchen. Like I obviously could not count, but like they were like insane. And we had another time where somehow they ended up basically outside in the wall in my kid's bathroom basically, and the floor was just a sheet of these small ants.
Oh my god! Then yes, yeah. I
so basically,
I don't think there's that much risk in that, really.
Yeah. So like basically, anytime we see the ants, like we don't want the problem to get out of control. We have exterminator. We always pay, and like they come and they put this bait. They don't spray, but they put this little bait, and the ants go take the bait and they're gone. Like it's amazing. Like we had. It could have been millions of ants in our kid's bathroom. Within 2 days, they were all just disappeared. Like it was just amazing. But anyway,
those people can come into your house and you can just go to one corner and be like, "All right, do your thing, goodbye." Like
yes. So like my wife is like very much not wanting people to come to our house, but like the ants, like I started seeing a bunch of them. I'm like, if we do let it go, it's just going to get worse. So we had the exterminator come today.
Well, and then also if it starts getting into your food and stuff, then you have a whole separate problem you brought on yourself. I think you did the right thing. Yeah.
But like it was like the most tense scene. The guy's like, "Is anyone sick in your house?" Like I'm talking to him first between the door. The door is still shut. I'm talking through the window in the door.
Yep.
He's like, "Is anyone sick in your household?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "Are you wearing your mask?" He's like, "Yeah." My wife's like, "But like, we can't let him in yet. The kids are downstairs. I have to get the kids upstairs." And she's like, "But the kids want to eat lunch right now." I'm like, "The exterminator's here. He's going to the kitchen. We can't have them eat lunch now. Get them upstairs." But they're really hungry. They can't fucking eat lunch now. And well, can I make them lunch and bring it upstairs? I'm like, the guy's standing outside right now. We can't just fucking make lunch. And you bring the lunch upstairs. We're gonna get crumbs up there. There'll be more fucking ants. And then the guy comes in, like I felt like it was like everything is just it's like a heightened tense right now. Like just
where are you both out on food delivery?
I just gone to the grocery store recently. We're gonna go food delivery, I guess, going forward. My wife wants to do that.
Yeah.
But anyway, the guy came in and like he was in for 5 minutes. Like my wife's like, Lysol everything in the kitchen. I'm like, he didn't touch the refrigerator. Lysol the refrigerator. He Lysol everything. We like cleaned the whole place. My wife was, and now we're like, okay, hopefully we didn't get it. But it's just like it's like an interaction that would have been like the friendliest and most normal interaction. Like the whole time he's there, I'm like sweating. I'm like, oh God, he's still here. Oh God, he's still here. Sir, I'm just gonna put some bait. Okay, just do it. Okay. Sir, you know when it gets warmer, the ants come in. That's great, sir. I really appreciate you, sir. I really appreciate it.
Well, everything's become like a science experiment now. Where like we haven't had food delivered yet, but not like takeout. We've gotten a grocery store delivery, but like you get to takeout and you're like looking at it, and you're like, okay, a person touched this bowl to fill the bowl with the food. They closed the bowl. The top is there. I set the top on the counter. Did I put the top straight from the counter to the garbage? Did I wipe the counter? Like every single, I just find myself doing the math equations on every single step of single thing, even though everybody's saying that theoretically the surfaces is not like the way you're most likely going to catch this.
Yeah, that's what I've heard generally is that like you're only really getting it from the air. And then I heard something very recently that it's really a sustained contact with someone. Yeah. Like it has to be like a longer, it can't just be like a brief passing of someone.
That Harvard, did you read the Harvard guy? That sounds like the same article I read that he went through like a whole like delivery situation and broke down each piece of it into like realistically, is this the way you're going to get it? And it did make me feel better about that kind of stuff.
And then there's a whole thing about the load. Like the word load can be used many different ways, but for this, the load, like if you get it, it's really it's only going to be bad if you had like a really like a decent
a lot
like,
of it,
a lot of interaction with someone that had it. Basically, if you have if you catch it with someone and it's a brief period, you will get a more mild case of it. And they're thinking that and again, this is just like secondhand from someone else who read the article on this, but that. Unless you get the people who are dying, basically, are people that have gotten like the biggest load, basically. So Jay is said he does not take any more loads since the load's gone his back now, right, Jay?
I mean, that's what the chatterbait ladies like. So,
well, how? Maybe you don't want this on the show, but like, how is your girlfriend handling it? Because I mean. Of all of us, she seems to be the one in the roughest situation for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I could tell she's scared and a little bit down, but she's handling it way better than I would be. I mean, I'm freaking out and I'm working from home. Like she's literally like in the hospital. So yeah, she's.
And when she's home, he's like, "Could you stop crying? Can't hear the chatterbait girl."
I mean, she's way tougher than I am.
Do you Jay, could you do her job? And not that you could do her. Obviously, she's a trained nurse and she's good. But like for one day, you just have to go into the hospital wearing the same protective gear that she wears. Just go to the hospital, spend 20 minutes there, and come back. Could you do that?
I couldn't even do what she does without the pandemic. Like, looking inside bodies and like.
Oh my God.
She's in the operating room. Like I couldn't do any of that stuff. No.
There does seem to be taking it out of the nurses and doctors are just fucking amazing. And you just draw the line at that. But like in people who have to work like there's still tons of like if you're a landscaper here, you're still working. If you're in I mean, there's factories open. There's all these kind of things. There does seem to be, and I don't want to say sympathize, but I do get it. Like there seems to be an attitude of, okay, I'm in one of these fucked professions where I'm just stuck being out here in the world at this point, and you like almost ease up on the anxiety and just live this like Home Depot. I've heard is like if you walk into a Home Depot down here, it's like nothing's happening. People are like talking in groups of 4 and like walking in and out like they always did. And I just wonder if like some human response to that is just, well, if I'm being put in the fucking front lines, I can't just fucking worry about everything all day long.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of mindset you have to get, or else you just go nuts.
You just lose your mind. Yeah.
I mean, I think to a certain extent, like it's different, but it's like I think it's how Trump got elected. There's enough people in this. I mean, a lot of people like Trump generally, but there's also a certain amount of people who are just like, my life sucks.
Yeah.
Sucked under Obama. Let me just try the other guy. He sounds like an asshole, but he claims he'll fix it, and it sucked under Obama. Why would he be better under Hillary?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's a bit of like I've given up, so let me just like
for sure
fuck these rules and
that's why my dad did it. My dad has no party affiliation. He just said like, Obama got nothing accomplished. I don't like Hillary. I don't know. I don't really know much about Trump. Let's see what happens. And he admitted like I fucked up. I won't vote for him again. And I'm fine with that. If you admit your mistake, it's like,
dude, that's actually impressive because I feel like the cult of that is, I mean, the people who are on that side of the fence seem to be just digging in. Like it doesn't. I feel like for a lot of people, it doesn't matter how bad this gets. In the end, at some point, it's going to go away, and at some point, he will be able to claim victory to those people, and a lot of them will just never look back. They'll be like, "Remember that time he solved this problem?"
Exactly.
Yeah, it's just a matter of if it's solved before the election. In some ways, I feel like that will mean he's guaranteed victory. If it's not solved, then he's probably out.
Yes.
Or will people be too scared to change like leaders in the time of this is going on?
Depends how bad.
That could happen. Yeah.
If it's really bad, I mean, most presidents don't get out of office when there's like war going on. This is a similar situation. Like, so.
Yeah, I mean that's a fair point. If the war seems to be going well, you stick with the guy who's in office.
Yeah.
Do you think he'll force out a vaccine early before the election?
I don't know if you can though, because like you could like try to force it out, but if it has to work, it's a bigger disaster if it doesn't work.
I mean, he would probably push the skip.
I was going to say, I don't know that he makes his decisions like that. Yeah, he could figure out something.
I mean, also the doctors may not just like. I mean, who knows? So I do think that if things are really bad, he'll try to say like we need to push back the election.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And if you're not doing an online election, he'll have a very legitimate case to push it back. Because if you have to vote in person, you shouldn't have the election.
Yeah, we could restart this whole thing. If say it's down to like a couple thousand, but then millions of people go out to vote, like they could start the whole thing back up.
No, the whole thing. I mean, I think the Democrats, they should be doing all their primaries online now, or like in the mail or something. Just completely switch it up so they can make a solid case that come the actual election that it's totally able to do it. There's no problem doing this.
Right.
But meanwhile, at the exact same time, like the proof of the online stuff being completely fuck upable compared to paper is that whole debate's going on right now too. So it's like, I don't know that they can go all in with that. So they might have to push back.
Right.
Yeah, but it's the election. The only thing almost as depressing as the pandemic.
So we've gone an hour and a half. I know we said an hour.
Do you want to do some questions with us and end it?
Do you want to take a break? Do you want to end the show? What?
I'm fine. Oh yeah, go for it.
All right.
Y'all show.
Okay. We'll go quick.
Good. Okay.
I think you missed one from the other day, Mark. Was somebody? I forget the guy's name. He was.
Oh, sorry. I was thinking about COVID-19, and I must have fucked up, Jay. I had something. I had the trauma going on in the world right now, and I didn't read a question from a random listener. Thank you.
He's not random. He's one of our like 10 listeners. So
actually, I so appreciate our listeners. Anyone who listens to the show, I appreciate so much.
He was.
I hope you people do not get the coronavirus because I could not lose a listener.
It would definitely be noticeable. So
I asked this question to Jay. That we did a show last night. Also, I asked this question to Jay. Rob, I'll ask you. You have a podcast. It's a very good podcast. Let's just say the next time you do a show, you get an email from a fan. He's like, "This is Joe Smith. I've been a long time listener to your show. I've never written it before, but I have to tell you, I absolutely love your show. And you know what? I've not been careful. I have the coronavirus. It's not great. I live alone. I don't really have any family. I've amassed a little fortune. I have about $1 million. And I'll just let you know. I want to let you know if anything happens to me. Here's who you contact, the will, and I've left my fortune to you." Now, Rob, you didn't know this person existed until you read the email on your next show. Are you upset? Would you rather him die or live?
Live, for sure.
You don't want the $1 million?
No, not in that circle. You'd never sleep again.
I know. I said the same thing.
What if it was $10 million?
I'm pretty sure Mark would do it.
$10 million. Again, you didn't know he existed.
You know, Mark can deny that accusation.
So $10 million. You do it, Rob?
I don't. But we got to start and end with.
So
Jesus Christ,
Lorenzo, right?
No, I could never. You'd feel like that's the beginning of one of those movies where then like everything in my life goes wrong from this point on because
I got the $10 million, but it turned out it was cursed.
Yeah, then it turns into a
I mean, in
destination.
fairness, it's the COVID-19, not you who are killing him. It's just the COVID-19 and your prayers that are killing him.
So
I wouldn't feel good about that.
Lorenzo writes,
I'm not even a particularly good person, and that would bother me.
Okay, go, Jay.
Lorenzo writes, is Jay able to hit record on one of his work conferences when he gets yelled at and play it on Brink?
Holy shit, that would be amazing.
That would be fantastic.
You probably could do that, Jay.
Nah, I'd get fired.
Yeah. Clearly.
And they might have, like, have you seen all the security issues with Zoom that are going on right now?
No.
No. People are like Zoom bombing, where they can they can infiltrate your Zoom conference and
there's a lot of like worry about the privacy on Zoom and like what's going out there and all that. Like supposedly, if you're not the host and you're having a chat in there, the person hosting it can get access to the chats. Like to the like if you message somebody in the meeting at the same time.
So if we're all in the chat together and I message Jay, you could see it because you're the host.
If I was the person running it, supposedly, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my coworkers and I talk through Slack while we're in the
Zoom that's
meeting.
what that's our work move.
Okay.
Peter writes.
I mean, in theory, like that, I understand why you'd be able to look at you're the host, you're hosting all this stuff, but people probably don't realize that.
Right.
I mean, if people can hack into the Zoom, they're probably like, "Oh, it's 1:00. Jay's about to get yelled at again."
Oh my God! Can you just record it and play it off the show for us?
I might be able to do that.
And record it with your phone. Don't record it in Zoom because again, they might see.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
No,
by the way, Rob, there's a chance that Jay's boss listens to the show. Jay has levels of bosses. His most junior boss has commented on our Facebook page. He may or may not, or this person may or may not listen to the show. And Jay just talks freely about the shit. Jay also Jay likes his job as much as you like the coronavirus.
Well, I was going to say, if he's bringing up the chatterbait thing, he's already dancing a dangerous dance in the first place. So I get it.
I mean, I'm working while I'm watching.
I got one more question I asked last night on the show. I'll ask you, Rob. Would you rather one of two things happening? You get the coronavirus and roll your dice with that, or you get accused of, and they find like evidence on your computer that you're a pedophile.
Oh, get it for sure.
Yeah.
So one of those things you can come back from theoretically.
Yeah, exactly.
The pedophile thing has 100% death rate.
Yes. It's not going to be good.
Peter writes, Jay, have you ever thought about growing your own mushrooms? It's pretty easy and the starting cost is probably less than $100. Probably shouldn't have read this one on the air.
Are you talking about hallucinogenic mushrooms?
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of becoming a drug dealer, Jay? It's a growing field.
I'm going to not read the rest of this email. Thank you. Because I was microdosing with them, for over the summer.
What do you think? Rob? What do you think is worse? If his boss is listening and Jay talks about watching Chatterbait during work, or he talks about taking shrooms and then going to work, which is actually worse?
I did them after work. I did not do them at work.
Yeah, I think the Chatterbait one's worse.
Okay.
Yeah, I might be doing this from the unemployment office next week. That was it for the emails.
Oh, what was the question I missed?
Oh, yeah. We were asked if we have any vices during the quarantine. Are we drinking anything?
Was that on Facebook or Twitter?
I looked on Twitter. I couldn't find it. I think it was on Facebook. I think you might have missed a thread of questions somewhere.
Okay. I mean, it's probably true. Do we have any vices during the coronavirus?
Yeah.
I haven't been drinking really, though I keep thinking like I should drink, but I feel like I still wake up early, and I've been trying to do. I'm trying to work out in the morning, so like as far as like keeping my sanity, and that's made me like not want to drink at night.
Oh, that was Jamie. So, what is your go-to drink or vice?
Oh, I mean, I would like whiskey or something with gin, but I haven't been drinking too much. Have you guys been drinking at all?
Been drinking during the show.
What about you, Rob?
Yeah, 100%. It's. I had been since Christmas. I had like severely cut down on my drinking, and then this started, and like one of my first instincts, like before Alabama had more than like 5 cases, I was like, just to be safe, I'm gonna go to Costco, and I bought like $250 worth of liquor, and just put it aside, going, one way or another, I'm going to use all this at some point. The question is going to be, is it going to be over like the next 3 months or over the next 3 years? So yeah, I knew enough about myself to hit that level of shame.
Yeah, I have like 20 bottles in my apartment. Rum. Yep. It's been a lot of rum.
I think it's because our kids are waking up so early that like
that's harder. Yeah.
Yeah. That's like, I'm just like, I have to do the day and like it's like the fact that I have to be so like awake basically during the day is making me want to drink less.
My part of my job during this period is fairly lax at this point, so that makes that easier. And also, like, your kids, are you not quite at your kids sleep in yet phase?
Oh my god, my kids sleep until 6:35 a.m.
Yeah, see, I was there with you, and then all of a sudden, when you hit double digits, it is glorious. Like all of a sudden. Like, my son will sleep if we don't do anything. He'll sleep till 10, and my daughter will sleep till like 8:15, which to me seems like noon at this point. It's phenomenal.
No, that's awesome. I mean, my kids will they'll go on the iPads and like they'll entertain themselves in the morning. So it's not that bad that they're up. But I always feel like I'm going to be in the house. Yeah, and I'm going to be in the house and we have to do homeschool with them also to get that going. But I'm also like, I'm going to be in the house all day. I'm going to get no exercise, so I should do something in the morning. And so I've been like working out in the morning, and that also gets like, it does like make me feel better about the day if I've worked out in the morning about the shitty day I have ahead of me. And also my job's kind of going kind of shitty now because of this, basically the economy crashing. My job's gotten a lot worse, and so that also like I'm like it'll make me feel better before I have to face work. Okay, that got depressing. Andrew writes, are you guys secretly loving not having to do the Knicks podcast at the moment? Or is it not that much of a secret?
I don't think it's much of a secret. We were like,
I don't think
outright disdaining the show for the last few episodes.
I mean, the Knicks has gotten just so goddamn horrible and with no hope. It's almost like the Knicks prepared us for the pandemic. Andrew writes, if Jay got the chance to meet Larry Bird, but he has to break his quarantine, would he do it? And if he doesn't, then will he never meet Larry Bird?
I might break it for Larry Bird.
Jay, sorry, go Rob.
No, you go.
Jay, who's that woman you love, the actress?
Olivia Munn.
Yeah. So.
Did you used to watch? Were you a big G4?
Oh, hell yeah.
Tech TV?
Attack of the Show? Yeah,
I love
that every day.
If you ever want to do like an hour and a half podcast just on that channel, please call me.
Absolutely.
So here's my questions. Olivia Munn. would you, if your girlfriend said it's totally cool and Olivia Munn said it's totally cool, would you have sex with Olivia Munn if it meant you got the coronavirus?
I think
your girlfriend's totally fine with it. She's like, it's cool. I'll be off fighting the war against us all dying. But yeah, go nail Olivia Munn. That's fine.
I might.
But no, but you. Oh, see, you're not thinking straight because maybe you are. But he just gave you. He left one big loophole in here. That's the inevitable. I'm very much like a worst case scenario person all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If they all give you permission and you do this and you get it, the inevitable ending is that your girlfriend gets it from you and dies.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Like that's the only way this ends.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Jay, it ends like this. Would you still do it?
I thought he was gonna. I was almost softballing that up for him to say that. I saw that hot dog scene. I know.
Andrew
Do
writes.
you remember that?
The hot dog scene?
It was.
Yeah.
That was like her famous clip on Attack of the Show. Was like
yeah.
they had a hot dog hanging from the ceiling or something, and it was brutal.
Didn't they do another one? They tried to see how many hot dogs she could fit in her mouth at once.
I don't remember, but that sounds right.
Maybe that was just a dream I had.
That's amazing. Andrew writes, does the Uncanny X-Cast still exist? I think this is directed to Rob.
that question might come up every time I'm on this. Sort of. It's still, the feed's still there. We record. We had actually gotten in like a good rhythm starting like in December, and I think we did like 4 or 5 episodes. Yeah. And then this happened, and Brian, his regiment with his kids while he's working from home is much more diligent than mine is. We haven't started school back yet. They've been on basically 3-week spring break and school. Well, school packets coming home and working from home starts on Monday. But I was very much working off of they are stressed out enough. As long as they read, play outside, exercise, and then loaf around, we're fine with this for now. So, but Brian is not under that, so he has been like way too stressed out to record, unfortunately.
Why don't you guys record at night? Like, obviously we're recording right now.
I think by the end of the day, he just doesn't have time to read the books and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we've been in a pretty flimsy situation for 2 years also. Like, it's not.
I think in the last 2 years, you've done almost as many shows of this as you've done yours.
There's a decent chance that's absolutely true. Yeah.
But I guess you guys have to prepare for your show also by reading the books.
That's the problem. Yeah, we were talking about that beforehand. That's the thing we need to figure out.
Yeah. I mean, you guys also could why not just go on and just like shoot the shit?
We could, but it's sort of like, it's almost akin to your Knicks podcast. Like that, I'm sure that show is more of a chore than this show for sure. And like, if you get sick of the topic at a certain point, recording just gets less and less fun.
Yeah.
And you're in a very similar situation. The Knicks have sucked ass for so long, just like the X-Men comics, that like eventually you're just like, I don't want to do this. Like I'm sure this show is probably more fun for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been doing this show pretty like the last few weeks. Like we usually are very irregular. We're doing it pretty regularly because it's kind of I don't know. It's a fun thing to do during the pandemic to like shoot the shit and talk about other things. Or
I wish we could be like, we should be doing it, but that's kind of how we maybe shouldn't be doing it at all. It's just, if we're not doing it now, I don't know when we should be doing it.
Yeah, because it does seem like a good time to just I don't know, just to talk. Even if you're talking about talking about the coronavirus, it's just you can talk about it, like try to make jokes about it. It makes it like everything better.
I did, interestingly enough, found myself, because I'm in the opposite boat of you. I'm trying to not read everything and not do that. I have found myself going way backwards on some of my favorite shows just to not hear that conversation over and over.
What shows?
Not real famous stuff. Video Game Outsiders, a couple other like smaller video game and stuff like that shows.
Okay. Oh,
it just stresses me out because even this episode, for as funny as all this stuff is, there were 1 or 2 moments in here where if you're listening, you're like, oh yeah, fuck, God, this is the worst. Not the show, but like the situation. It's just impossible not to make it kick you in the gut every once in a while.
I mean, it hangs over everything. I don't really know how like ESPN still exists. Like, how are they not just talking about coronavirus the whole time?
Yeah.
How do you talk about anything? How do you talk about anything else right now?
Yeah. Well, that's where shows like the rewatchables are great because you're like, okay, you have a format that is designed to make you avoid talking about this right now.
Yeah. That's why our Chatterbait podcast will do really, really well.
That is a pretty good idea.
I'm not being sarcastic in that I'm pretty sure there's an audience for this thing, like a general audience, not a pervert audience.
Mm-hmm.
It would just be so great. Well, I mean, it's weird that like, I guess she's not really his mom, so like we can that was okay. Why is all porn like
I don't get that.
like step porn? It's why is there so much of that? Or just that's what the internet thinks I like.
No, I read in I guess it was a porn star. Somebody had a Reddit AMA, and they said the logic they were using was that because if that's what you were looking for, great, and if it's not, you're just tuning that part out and just watching it like a regular thing. So it's like you're killing two birds.
Mm.
There you go.
Makes sense, I guess. I've never been like, oh no, that's...
and we're gonna break this down a little bit deeper on the first episode of Three Friends Watching and Reviewing Porn. That's an awful name.
Because I've never been browsing videos and been like, oh no, that's his mom. I'm not gonna watch that one.
I've never been browsing and be like,
I'm not thinking about this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been browsing and go, I wish it wasn't a step. It ruins it for me if they're only kind of related.
The more jokes we make about this, the more I think we should do it.
It's not bad. The negative is it ends up being like the most popular show that we do, and then that's who you are.
Yeah.
Honey, why are you in the bathroom so long? I'm doing research.
I go on a job interview, like, your voice sounds familiar. Have I heard you on a podcast? It's like, oh fuck.
They're like, sir, I'll just get myself. I'll just leave. It's fine.
I'll see myself out. Thank you.
Oh, I love the Bukkake episode. That was your best one. Like, oh, trying to eat dinner with my parents right now. Thanks.
You're owed the Bukkake.
I feel like there would be a lot of episodes where we just explain to Mark what these terms mean.
Oh, all right. I will tell you right now, sponsorships on that show would be, you could rake in money for this if you do it well.
Yeah.
Well, in what regard do you think people would actually want to advertise on that?
Yeah, Adam and
Tell
Eve.
me who.
Adam and Eve sponsor like every podcast.
Yeah. Any sex toy thing. Pornhub itself, you just go big.
Do you think those sites are just like they've never seen traffic so high right now?
Has to be.
Yeah.
It has. Like I would of the internet, what percent of the internet do you think is porn?
20?
I bet it's like 50%. I bet it's like an insane percentage you just don't realize.
I mean, bandwidth wise, it's definitely.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Way higher than 20.
Yeah, I get. Maybe I'm thinking bandwidth wise, but like how much of it's used, like the use of it, basically.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like it's basically like they invented a giant porn carnival where you can also look up science facts.
All right, I think we're going to end on that note. I don't think we can top that. Right. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for listening, everybody. thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com if you want to email us, and facebook.com/brinkofsanity. Vote on our Brink bracket. And Rob, if you ever do the podcast again, UncannyX-Cast.net.
.com.
Sorry.
If you're a fan of Rob's show, please write many letters. Get him to do it. Get him to do more episodes, just to annoy the shit out of his co-host, who doesn't have time for this.
They will.
Oh God, I gotta read the goddamn book.
Trust me, if you were reading these books, you'd probably agree.
Have they really gotten that bad?
Oh, they're awful.
They're really bad.
They're really bad.
Because I read along with Rob's episodes, and I'm just like, fuck, I gotta read like 10 of these, and they're just all bad.
So I do not read comic books. Just never got me, whatever, reading them. But why do you think they've gotten so bad?
I don't know. We talk about that a lot. I can't. Jay, you might have stronger opinions on this. I can't figure out. For me, the big turn I think was like when independent, like we're talking about Walking Dead, like when comics like that came in and got more adult and more linear in a sense. Like X-Men's got 20 books and they barely work together, and there's all sorts of problems. I don't know. It just became like this is a mess, and it does have a little bit. I don't want to say lowest common denominator, but there's a lot of cheese in there at this point. Maybe, and I may have just outgrown it on some level.
I think
outgrown those comics.
I think it's that they took away all the stakes. Like I feel like every other issue somebody dies and then they're back 2 months later, and it's like now when somebody dies, you're like, I don't care. And even if there's a battle, you're like, well, even if they die, they're going to come back to life. So even the battle doesn't matter. So like,
and the current books are even worse. Now they just have a fucking clone of everybody's just in a bank where it's like, oh, you could die 3 times this week and we're just going to chuck you into this fountain and bring you back.
Yeah. So it's like, there's no
What's
stakes,
the point?
and there's no point really. Yeah. If there's no, if nothing can come out of any battle, then who cares?
Yeah.
I having not read them, I think if you remove the stakes of life and death, then like kind of sucks.
Well, and as kids, like the few deaths that happened in the X-Men universe as kids, like they lasted a long time usually, and were like, and I believed it more. Like I believed it could happen more. Now we're just so desensitized to it. I think you might be right. That might be the biggest one.
I mean, some of the deaths when we were kids, they didn't come back to life until after we stopped reading. Whereas now it's literally like the very next month.
Yep.
So,
I mean, Professor X died and came back the next issue. I mean, we were supposed to act like it was like the biggest thing in the world.
Yeah, that sounds pretty shitty actually. Like it's really like there's nothing compelling about it if the deaths don't matter.
Right. Which is what made The Walking Dead so exciting. You could have a main character and then they're walking down the street and like a zombie comes out from under a car and bites the guy's ankle, and that's the end of that character.
And
forever.
you never read that character again.
Yeah.
Ever. 100%.
So like every
even
page.
Like Game of Thrones, one of the things that made Game of Thrones so great was like when the early years when they would randomly kill off a main character.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Like what if after the Red Wedding, like all the characters were back there, like, okay, next episode they're all alive again.
Yeah.
It would have kind of killed the Red Wedding, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's a problem. Then, like, for collectors, they renumber the issues, like, nothing lasts more than 12 now, right?
Right.
So it's, like, just constant number ones and marketing gimmicks and shit.
And it's a new it really, that's an industry in some trouble, except for the fact that they make movies that every single human being sees.
If it wasn't for the movies, though, they'd be fucked.
They'd be gone already, yeah.
Are there any comic books you're reading that you feel like should be movies? Like they haven't been made in haven't been adapted to the screen yet?
Currently, I'm not reading a lot currently, so I can't say that. But like,
or anything you've read in the past that like that should be made, that hasn't been made yet.
I think Scalped by Jason Aaron could be a really good TV show. Did you read that, Jay?
I read the first 4 trades. I know you're a huge fan. It wasn't really doing it for me though.
Yeah, no, I get it. And honestly, but I kind of petered out on the end. But I think if you gave it to some TV writers and tweak some things around, it's a compelling setting for sure, and it's different.
Yeah.
What's the premise?
He's like a Native American who goes to. It's been so long since I read it. I think he becomes like an FBI agent, and he has to come back home, and he's investigating something on the reservation. And it's honestly more dealing with like, I didn't know much about what living on a reservation was like or why the poverty is the way it is and all that. And it deals with a lot of that kind of stuff. It's interesting. It's dark. I mean, it's very violent and dark, but.
Okay. Jay, any ones that you've read that you would think that have not been made to the screen yet?
I mean, I would love if they did a Walking Dead show, but correctly.
Yeah.
No, but there's a couple I haven't read yet that are like supposed to be really good, like Sandman. I heard was awesome.
Why the Last Man, which I think is supposedly been worked on for 10 years. That could be interesting.
I keep hearing that that's coming out soon. That
Oh,
was
really?
good. Why the Last
Which
Man?
one? Why the Last Man? What's the premise?
Basically, all the men on the planet. Do they die? I can't. That's been so long on that. They all die, and he's the last one
They
left.
either died or disappeared.
I can't remember which it is, but yeah, it's basically there's one guy, and the rest of the world's girls, and it's got a little like Walking Dead elements to it. It's a little post-apocalyptic, but funny-ish.
Yeah, it's
okay. I'm only fucking the pretty girls. Okay, none of the pigs. The pigs don't get to reproduce.
Well, part of the funny thing about the book is the guy is a loser. Like he's kind of inept and not. Even in that situation, he's maybe not the most attractive person around.
But it's also darker than you think because
Yeah.
some women think it's a sign, so they'll kill a guy if they see him because they think it was meant to happen, and so he can't like just walk around and be like, "Hey, I'm the last guy,"
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, I like that series a lot.
I do too.
I thought Saga was overrated.
I fell off of that too. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I feel like they're trying to make anything and everything into a series now. Now it's like the hip thing to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's it's almost easier than books at this point to get a comic book made into something.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking. I don't really have. Yeah, I don't really have anything on my shelves that. I have Invader Zim, but that was already a show. Yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Now we ended on a much more quieter. The show, like people were like, "Oh, should have ended the show a little while ago," and yet we kept going. Okay, cool.
All right, I'm gonna play the goodbye song before it gets any worse.
My love.